Tuesday night. Worst waiver wire week ever? That's possible. Oh, crap. I'm coughing already.
Is it the worst waiver wire week of the season?
No, there was one like week 3 or something like that was horrible. I can't remember exactly what it was. Week 2 was fine because he had Eli Mitchell, but this is bad because the guy that we basically led the show with is not going to play, Alan Lazard. Maybe now it's just Marquez Valdez-Scantling is the guy to pick up.
He is still on IR, isn't he?
He is expected to be activated for this game. Yes. So welcome, everybody. Adam, Heath, and Chris here on your Tuesday night waiver wire stream. MVS 9% rostered right now. We'll get your take on that. We also have Jordan Howard potentially being activated. Does that make all of the Eagles avoids this week in a great matchup against the Lions? Heath, why don't you lay it out? What do you do waiver wire-wise tonight?
Well, the way I just teased it on Twitter was the ultimate fooled you waiver wire. I think everybody is so questionable. Like the number one priority for me on waiver wire, if I'm not like desperate for a starter this week, is Kadarius Toney. He's 41%.
Might be Rashad Bateman for me.
What's that? Who?
Might be Rashad Bateman for me along the same lines.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually a good week for kind of long-term plays. I'm in a league where unfortunately, my worst league, I'm 2-5. I have the number one waiver wire priority. And I said to myself, am I going to start an Eagles running back over Khalil Herbert this week? Because that would be my decision. Or Eli Mitchell. You can tell I've had the top waiver wire priority a lot. No, I'm not. So my top priority is the Bengals DST. They're facing the Jets. And I'll let someone else have an Eagles running back. This is a weird league where you can't hoard running backs. You only have 5. But yeah, I mean, I'm not super confident in starting any of them, especially if Jordan Howard comes off IR. I have good enough wide receivers. I'm not starting MVS, and there's only 2 teams on bye. So I think you could definitely be thinking long-term with a guy like Toney or Bateman or T.Y. Hilton's out there. Or you could go with the Bengals DST and try to get 15 points or something like that and try to, get a big advantage with your DST. So, yeah, Chris, your take on the Eagles and the Packers this week.
I don't think you want to be relying on anyone there. I mean, we have a pretty long track record of guys like Marquez Valdez-Scantling and I guess Randall Cobb at this point in his career and Equanimeous St. Brown and whoever they want to throw out there that, just because they're getting an opportunity doesn't mean they're going to do much with it. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is the kind of guy who can be worth starting on one play, but if he doesn't hit that one play, there's not a lot in his track record to suggest that you want to rely on him. And with the Eagles, you're kind of hoping Kenny Gainwell gets a bunch of targets because I don't think he's going to get 15 carries. I really think it's more of a PPR play. So, no, I don't really think it's worth putting a ton of resources into chasing either of those situations. I think probably if I need someone this week, I would rather have Gainwell than anyone from the Packers or, just blanked on the name, Eagles.
Yeah, Philadelphia Eagles.
But I don't think you want any of them, really.
I mean, we've got Andrews and Waller on a bye, and Tunyon did have his career high in yards last year. One of the 2 weeks Adams was out, he had 98 yards. The other week, he had 50 yards. And you're counting on stupid touchdown fortune with Tunyon, but there's very few. I'd rather count on Robert Tunyon to score a touchdown than C.J. Uzomah or Mo Alley Cox. So I think Tunyon's a pretty high quality streamer, even if MVS plays. I would expect he's going to get 5 or 6 targets. And at his career efficiency playing with Aaron Rodgers, that's not bad.
Yeah, and also Rodgers has played 6 games over the last 2 seasons without Devontae Adams, and he's been a star in 4 of them. I had some really good matchups a couple of years ago, like the Raiders, Chiefs, Detroit, I think, just like some at that point, bad defenses, great matchups. But it's, I don't know, something like 28 or more points in 4 of the 6 games, 22 or more in 5 of the 6 games. So he has been good. And that means somebody's going to step up. And it could be the running backs, too. I expect a big receiving game from Aaron Jones.
Let's see. He might not be good this time.
He might not.
And I mean, Arizona's a tough matchup.
Look at their schedule. they've had a really favorable schedule. Really, we'll find out a lot more about their defense, I think, this week. Devontae Adams, but they have faced some pretty lousy quarterbacks. All right, let's see what the people out there are asking right now. We welcome you. We're here till 9 p.m. And let's see what's on your mind. Tony or Waddle, rest of season?
Waddle.
I don't know if I agree that they've had like a particularly easy schedule, though.
All right, give it to me. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Tannehill, Cousins, Lawrence, Stafford. I think that was the Trey Lance game. Mayfield, and then Mills.
Yeah,
that's like
lately. It's
4 out of 7 are pretty good.
Well, it depends how you feel about Tannehill. If you want to talk about fantasy points allowed to quarterbacks, Tannehill has not been a good fantasy.
No, I think you could look at it though as they've faced 3 good quarterbacks, 3 bad quarterbacks, and Ryan Tannehill, who's probably average. So it's been a pretty average schedule.
And Stafford had a solid game. I think it was like 22.
His worst quarterback rating of the season against Arizona.
Stafford?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I think they're pretty good. You can't fake it. I don't care who the opponents are. You can't completely fake it. But the one thing I don't really buy is that they're shut down against tight ends. They're the number 1 opponent against tight ends.
Of course not. No.
And they faced Tyler Higbee. That's the best guy.
I'm more likely to buy that they are shut down against number 1 wide receivers. Did you see my tweet today? The 3 wide receivers who have more than 80 yards against Arizona this year?
Oh, I know who it is. It's Donovan Peoples-Jones, KJ Osborne, and someone else crappy.
And Donovan Peoples-Jones was a Hail Mary, right? Yeah.
And they've played like half of the top 15 wide receivers in football. Like they've played all the star wide receivers, and they all basically have 50 or 60 yards.
Yeah, AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Julio, yep. And the Rams guys. Yeah, I mean, Cooper Kupp is the only bad game. All right, here we go. Antonio Brown or Allen Robinson? Come on, Antonio Brown.
Yeah, Antonio Brown.
Well, unless he doesn't play, and then I'd go Allen Robinson.
A-Rob is now on the cut list for 12. That's a good point about Antonio Brown. A-Rob is now on the cut list. Yeah, I still want to wait till the trade deadline, but
and that's the thing is that like people have some tough decisions. One of the things I wrote in the wide receiver preview today, I really don't want to start Tyler Lockett. I'm the Tyler Lockett guy. I always defend him. I've just started him every week for the last 3 years. And I'm finally like, I don't want to start him.
Oh, you can't.
But I would rather start him than drop him for one of the guys in the waiver wire. Like if my choice is I have to drop him because I have too many guys that I don't want to drop on my bench, and there's a lot of injuries, then I would rather start him than drop him for somebody.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. But like, unless you're really invested in the Ravens and Raiders wide receiving cores, you can probably afford to sit Lockett. But obviously that's not true for everybody. Sure.
Well, there's especially I think a lot of ESPN and Yahoo leagues that don't have IR spots.
Sure.
I've got some 5 bench ESPN leagues where everybody on my team is unavailable to play on the bench.
I don't know what we were thinking playing fantasy football without IR spots. That should never go away.
No, especially now with the 3-game IR. Like when it was IR and you're done, not playing with IRs makes sense because it's a shallow format in your regular 12-team leagues anyway. But now that guys get put on IR for a 3-week absence,
and that was a really good move by the NFL too.
Yes, it was. It never made sense. Yeah, it's about time. All right, should I trade Tony Pollard and James Robinson for Alvin Kamara?
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah,
oh yeah,
yeah.
You should.
Which defense?
I don't know about. Oh yeah,
Broncos or Bengals?
Man, it's Tuesday night.
Dude, come on. Denver's got Washington. The Bengals have been one of the best defenses in football, and they've got the Jets.
Yeah, the Bengals.
So I've got the Broncos 2nd right now.
Behind the Bengals.
No, I have the Bengals 12th. So you need to yell at me and tell me I have the Bengals too low.
It's the Bengals. It's the Bengals. Come on, they're going against Mike White or Joe Flacco.
I feel good about it this time, Heath. You have the Bengals DST way too low.
I think 2 of the times you've said that have been against the Jets.
Oh, crap. I actually had the thought that Zach Wilson not being there is probably bad for the defense. DST.
I don't think we have evidence that Zach Wilson is better than Joe Flacco or Mike White.
No, he's very turnover prone.
I think you have.
He's better than Mike White.
Mike White's a 5th-round pick who played his first NFL snaps last week,
And he
was drafted in 2018.
He threw 40% of his passes to running backs. Those are not. That type of profile is not good for the opposing DST.
They're still going to crush the Jets. I mean, even if they don't get the turnovers, they'll get to the quarterback. They are not going to give up a lot of points. Yeah. Bolden or Scott? Better add full PPR. Brandon Bolden or Boston Scott?
I want to say Brandon Bolden, but I don't know what Bill Belichick's going to do with Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah.
Boston Barber.
I don't get it. I don't get it this week.
Do you remember when Josh Jacobs got hurt and Kenyon Drake was going to take over the Josh Jacobs role, and then Kenyon Drake just played the Kenyon Drake role, and Peyton Barber played the Josh Jacobs role and ran for like 100 yards because they had a great matchup?
Well, yes, I do.
I think that's possible.
So wait, so you're saying, what are you saying?
I'm saying pick up Boston Scott because he might be Peyton Barber.
I think Jordan Howard might be Peyton Barber.
But you're not. Like, what are the circumstances in which someone's starting Boston Scott this week?
He's my RB 36 this week. I mean, you play in a league where you start 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and 2 flexes. Those are the circumstances.
Where do you have Gainwell?
30?
Interesting. I'm much higher on Gainwell.
He had 1 carry after he fumbled last week.
Oh yeah, I don't think I have him projected for like 8 carries or something. I don't think he's going to be a big part of the running game.
Chris, are those the fantasy cops after you?
Yes.
Woods or Waddle, PPR?
Woods.
I think Woods.
Thoughts on Tyrod Taylor? Tyrod Taylor is QB2 in Superflex.
If he starts, he's going to be good. Probably.
If you don't have 2 good quarterbacks.
Yeah, I'm going to start him over Justin Fields.
Well,
I approve that.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson and Devontae Adams for Mahomes and Jamar Chase. Oh, woo! No, I'd rather have Jackson.
Only if you're under 500 right now.
Yeah. If you have to win this week, I was getting ready to make an offer to RJ in our FFT league. I've got Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, Michael Thomas, and Mark Andrews. So Lamar and Andrews combo, Thomas and McCaffrey. You trade them all to him. All 4.
Okay, wait. Okay. Lamar, Andrews, Michael Thomas, Christian McCaffrey.
Uh-huh.
For what?
Mahomes, Aaron Jones, Claypool, and Hawkinson.
What league is this?
FFT. I haven't done it yet. I think he's got to take it.
I would rather have the side that you're giving up. Yeah.
For sure.
It's a very sexy side.
But I've got to win this week, and I'm playing RJ.
Oh.
So if I trade him all those guys, I probably got to win.
Really, I like that.
Yeah, RJ's only 4-3. I don't think he takes that.
I said I'd rather have Jackson. I meant the Jackson side. I'd rather have Mahomes and Jackson, but I think the Jackson Adams side's a little better, but okay.
It's close, and I'd rather have Adams than Chase.
Yeah. Chase sucks, Do you think it'd be better to have Kirk Cousins or Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson's not going to play this year. I
don't know. You just said that they can't put him on the commissioner's exempt list.
But that's a lie. And we know that's a lie.
Why?
Okay.
Because the commissioner has basically unlimited lenience to put people on the commissioner's list.
So why can't
here's the key distinction. I don't believe
they haven't had to.
There's not going to be a trade in the next 7 days if the NFL is going to put him on the exempt list as soon as that team trades for him. No team is going to make that trade. He said if there is a trade.
I can't see any world in which they're okay with him playing right now. I think they're happy that he hasn't been traded yet because they haven't had to make a decision, and the NFLPA is going to, appeal that decision, and it's going to be a thing. They don't want to have to go through that. So their preference, I'm very confident, is that nothing happens with Deshaun Watson and they never have to make a decision. But I have a really hard time seeing the NFL letting Deshaun Watson get traded to the Miami Dolphins or whoever and playing the rest of the season.
I think he could get. Why couldn't he get traded and sit out the year? And
if he can't play this year, then why wouldn't you just trade for him in the offseason?
Right. So because you can get him now. I mean, because I don't know, because you want to go get him.
To answer the question, I think it's very unlikely as well. But to answer the question, if Deshaun Watson is allowed to play, you'd rather have him than Kirk Cousins.
But right now we don't know. So right now you'd go Cousins over Watson.
He said if there is a trade.
All right, but okay, fine. If Watson's playing, we'd rather have Watson. But right now, your rest of season rankings would have Cousins ahead of Watson.
Certainly.
Okay. 2 QB league. I'm down Russell Wilson. Should I drop Fields for Ben, Goff, Tyrod Taylor, or Mac Jones?
Pretty much any of them.
2 QB league. My goodness. All right. So who's your pick here? I don't know that Taylor's going to play this week. So keep that in mind.
It's probably Mac Jones.
I think I might have Goff. I have Goff ranked highest out of this group.
Grade the trade. Give up Pittman for Zach Ertz, tight end premium.
C+.
D. I don't think Zach Ertz is going to be good. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't either. But tight end premium, he's worth a wide receiver 3, even if he's just a number 2 tight end.
I guess. I mean, what kind of tight end premium? Are we talking like it's half PPR, but tight ends get full PPR? Because then you're looking at what? An extra 1.5 per game on average, probably. I don't really know if that changes things that much.
Well, the other factor is, does he even need Pittman? He might not. So it's not the worst thing to get Ertz in a tight end premium league. It's a fine trade. Let's move on.
I mean, yeah, okay.
Sorry, you want to go ahead? Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's like the evidence we have. He's probably going to have 4 more good games the rest of the season, and 6 crappy games the rest of the season.
Rank these half PPR tight ends: Tunyon, Uzama, Arnold, Conklin, Freiermuth.
I think I have Tunyon ranked highest this week.
Tunyon, Arnold, Conklin, Freiermuth, Uzama.
Hawkinson or Gesicki?
Hawkinson.
I traded Diggs and Chase Edmonds for A.J. Dillon, McCaffrey, and Chenault. 5-2, and I have Aaron Jones.
I think that's an A.
It's better get Christian McCaffrey back already.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. McCaffrey's
if he doesn't ever come back, obviously, but
he's got 1 more week or 2 more weeks on IR. I think it's 2 more weeks. One more week after this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
look, it's a gamble, but it's going to work out. It should work out.
I mean, if you're 5-2, Diggs hasn't helped you get there. Like you've mostly gotten 5-2 without Diggs.
Yeah. All right, Winston or Daniel Jones or Tannehill or Bridgewater for just this week.
I have Tannehill ranked higher.
What'd you say?
I said Jameis.
Okay.
Cannot resist a good revenge game narrative. No.
Yeah.
I just think he played pretty well. Receivers let him down, but I think they're likely to play better against Tampa Bay.
Hawkinson or Schultz?
Hawkinson.
I think I have Hawkinson higher. Yeah, just barely.
And it'd be easier, obviously, if Dak does not play.
Yeah.
Dak plays would be a tougher decision, but
that's 3 and 4 for me.
Oh, okay.
Hawkinson's 3.
I feel like the Eagles actually are one of the teams that's very good against tight ends. I know, let's see. Pitts, 31 yards. Kittle, 17. Schultz, 80. Kelsey, 23 yards. But they've actually given up a touchdown to a tight end in 3 straight games.
I think where's Slay going is the question.
Yeah.
And he's likely to probably go with Hawkinson. But
ooh, should I trade Adam Thielen for Michael Carter? Wow.
It's fine to see.
You should be able to do a little better than that, but I do think that Michael Carter is probably going to be a number 2 running back the rest of the season.
I mentioned this on the podcast this morning. The next 3 weeks for Carter, he faces the Bengals, who have a great run defense, the Colts, who don't, but they are 7th against running backs right now, and the Bills, who are 5th. So it's a bad 3-week stretch. And then after that, 5 of his next 6 games, that's from weeks 11 to 16. 5 of those games are against teams that are 25th or worse against running backs. Dolphins, Texans, Eagles, Saints is tough. Dolphins, Jaguars.
I have a hard. I don't view Michael Carter as someone who's likely to give you like 80 yards and a touchdown on the ground in any given week. if he's going to be an RB2 moving forward, I think it's probably going to be because he catches 4 passes per game. Bless you, Adam.
Thank you. Ertz or Hawkinson, and Antonio Brown or Sutton?
Hawkinson for sure.
I'd probably go Hawkinson and AB if he plays.
Yeah.
I still got Sutton as a number 2 wide receiver this week, but
Yep.
you can't sit the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it just if those guys are active, you start them.
I'm very, very low on Fab. Is it worth the buck to throw at Will Fuller and stash?
There's no $0 bids. You could probably get him with one of those.
Yeah, it's worth it. I think he's worth $1 bid.
Come on, Chris. He's worth $1.
Yeah. I would just rather do 0 because you can probably get him for 0.
Is Tampa Bay has a bye in week 9. If Gronk is out this week, is he droppable or sell or what?
I think you're stuck.
Yeah, I mean, he's the number 1 tight end in fantasy. You can't drop him.
How many likes do we have right now?
Not enough. We
Not
need
enough.
more.
Not enough. We definitely need more. I'm going to check. You guys want to get? I don't even know if we have 100 because I haven't said to hit like.
I bet if we had Marshawn Lynch, we'd have more likes.
I didn't see what he said. I didn't hear what he said. I didn't really care.
He was delightful.
All right. 61 likes. Not good enough, people. Not good. 74 likes. Not good enough.
That's better.
Let's get to 100 and then I'll shut up. 85 likes. It's not good enough. It's just not good enough. We need to get to 100.
I feel bad for the people who already liked it, though.
Did you like it?
Because they did what you asked, and then you're telling them it's not good enough. Like, what would you like them to do now?
Well, they're model citizens. All right, 106. All right, we're good. Keep hitting the like. Would you drop Allen Robinson or Kenyon Drake on his bye, half PPR?
Sure.
I think
Which one?
fine.
Which one?
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, which one? Which one?
I would probably drop Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
Okay. I traded Aaron Jones and Marquise Brown for McCaffrey and AJ Brown. Yeah, I like that.
Probably.
Yeah.
You really like. Man.
Like Jones is better than Brown for this week, but you're hoping that you only really have 1 week where you lose, and then you're a big winner.
What's
Right?
the
Like
difference in your mind between Marquise Brown and AJ Brown? Significant?
It's only like I think I would probably have AJ Brown like 8th at wide receiver the rest of the season, and I would probably have Marquise Brown in the high wide receiver 2 range. So it's not a huge gap, but I definitely think AJ Brown's going to be better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I need a running back and a flex and half PPR. Melvin Gordon, Jamal Williams, Dearness Johnson, Christian Kirk, or Tony, or Slayton.
Kirk and Gordon.
You like Gordon better than Dearness?
I mean, we fully expect Chubb to play, right?
Yeah, but you might get 10 carries or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Dearness Johnson's role is going to be in the passing game. I think that's what a lot of it comes down to because Kareem Hunt gets a decent amount of his value from that. And if Dearness Johnson is just Kareem Hunt, then I think he can be a borderline top 24 wide receiver, or running back. But I'm just not confident in that.
I kind of want to start I would start Slayton over all the running backs if all the Giants were out. I don't think Tony's coming back this week.
I'm starting Christian Kirk here.
We don't have enough information to answer this question mostly. And it's
Right.
not,
Yeah, but the thing, I'm going to start. Kirk's going to be one of my guys. He's played 7 games. He has 4 good ones. I know he has a low floor, but all of these guys do. So I'm going to take a shot there.
Yeah, I was thinking I might start both wide receivers. I don't really like
That's
either
nice.
one of the Broncos running backs against Washington. Nobody runs for many yards against them.
Right. All right. I have Dalton Schultz and Tyler Higbee. Can I drop Higbee?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Should I? No, read that one. All right. I'm going to get some fresh ones here. Grade the trade. Calvin Ridley for T. Higgins and James Conner.
D-.
Yeah.
Nope. F.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It got worse.
Well, I was trying to be nice, and I just need to be honest. It's an F.
Why is fantasy so stressful? Rate quarterbacks rest of the season. Tua, Ryan, Carr, and Tannehill.
Tua, Carr, Ryan, Tannehill, but that's independent of schedule, and it's close enough that I might change it if I really studied it.
I actually did this on Monday for at least one of these quarterbacks. Derek Carr has an amazing schedule.
Oh, yeah.
He really does. Here are his opponent ranks rest of season against quarterbacks. 20 after the bye. 21, 31, 6, 25, 32, 31, 29, 4, 26.
So Carr, Tua, Ryan, Tannehill.
I think I would go Ryan over Tua. 1, to break up the confusing Ryan Tannehill part. And 2, he's already had his bye.
Okay.
Like if it's that close, I'll go with the guy who has a full schedule remaining. I also will say one thing that I've adopted this season that our good friend Scott Fish has talked about a lot. If you want fantasy football to be less stressful, don't check your scores during the games.
Yeah,
I've basically
done that
stopped
in
checking my
5
scores
years.
during games, and it makes my Sundays much less stressful.
Sometimes
Come on,
I
that's
make it
stressful.
all the way until the first quarter of the early games before I check my scores.
Yeah,
I wake up the next morning and my finger hurts from holding my phone in the certain position while it's really bad. I'm sick.
I sit at my computer all day.
Yeah, like use your laptop.
Yeah.
Use your laptop, man. Like it's so much easier.
Yeah, I have to plug my laptop in when I get home because I do 4 hours of FFT not plugged in and then drive home.
Get a second laptop just for checking scores. Obviously, that is what to do
Yes.
here. Derrick Henry and Justin Jefferson. Ooh, you got to get a lot back. You are getting a lot back.
Do it.
Yeah.
Swift and Taylor?
Man.
What do you think?
It's
So
so
this
much
is
fun.
one where like we do kind of need to know who's being pulled out of your starting lineup as a result of this, right?
I
Like
don't
if
know.
you've got someone totally crappy in your starting lineup right now, then I think it makes a lot of sense. But if you're going from starting Henry, Jefferson, and let's say Emmanuel Sanders to Chase, Swift, and Jonathan Taylor, I think that changes things. It's slightly less of an upgrade.
Wait, who's the worst person of like let's just say for entertainment purposes that Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are a wash.
I think it's close.
And so Henry's obviously significantly better than Swift or Taylor, whichever one you like more, and that might be format dependent.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a lot better. But are we saying the difference between Henry and one of these running backs is bigger than the difference between the second of these running backs and Emmanuel Sanders?
I mean, right now,
Rest of
Yeah.
season, though. I'm not saying
I
how many
mean,
points
I'm-
they scored
so
so
I'll
far. We
just
don't get
look
credit
at-
for those.
like my projections for this week, which obviously are not rest of the season, but I have Henry 5 points north of Jonathan Taylor, who is lower than DeAndre Swift, and I have Taylor 3 points ahead of Emmanuel Sanders. I do think it's the gap between Henry is bigger. Yes.
All right, so what are we thinking here?
I
What
would
side
take the
wins?
Chase Swift Taylor side.
I think I would too, unbelievably.
I
Like,
think
you
so,
know,
but
when you have 3 really good players, you're less susceptible to an injury ruining your season. It's I mean, I don't want to
true.
I don't want to put it that way, but
Derrick Henry's invincible.
but Justin Jefferson maybe isn't. I don't know. All right, let's see. Eli Mitchell or Gainwell this week, PPR.
Eli Mitchell.
You're supposed to pick 2 out of 3. Adam just
I'm sorry.
overlooked Michael Carter.
Oh, I assumed he was just slotting Carter in.
No, I definitely wasn't. Michael Carter, Eli Mitchell, Kenneth Gainwell.
Sitting Gainwell.
Actually,
I'm sitting Gainwell.
I'm sitting.
Chris is going to
Mitchell.
have to adjust his projections to
Yeah.
make it look like what he feels because his projections are saying something he doesn't like.
No. My projections do have Kenneth Gainwell too high, mostly because of PPR stuff.
All right, guys, we're going to take a real quick break here and come back and finish up with another half hour of this awesome fantasy advice. We'll be right back.
My mom used to live here a long time ago.
She's still here.
What did you say? What the hell?
Paranormal Activity, Next of Kin. Rated R. Streaming October 29th, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
That was
My mom used to.
What were you saying?
terrifying.
Scary.
Yeah, I have not watched nearly enough scary movies. I DVR'd A Vacancy. I'm gonna watch that tonight when we're done here. Pretty good if I remember. One of the Wilson brothers and Kate Beckinsale. It's a solid movie. But I don't know if you guys are running into this problem. Oh, the World Series is on.
Yep.
2-0. How about that? I don't know if you're running into this problem, but I bought some Halloween candy a couple days ago, and I keep eating it all, and I'm definitely gonna have to buy more.
No, we are. I mean, nobody comes to our building for Halloween. We've been here for 2 years, and nobody came either year. So I think we're in the clear there. But yeah, we ate all the good candy already. All the Butterfingers are gone.
Oh,
No comment from Adam needed.
yeah. You ate all the crap.
Nerds are all gone. The sweet tarts are all gone. The peanut M&Ms are all gone. So,
Dear God, I had 4 Snickers. I thought I was bad. You ate 5.
Well, we've had them for like 2 weeks. My wife bought it very early.
4 fun size Snickers, by the way. Fun size. Heath doesn't eat sweets. Heath, not sure.
No, I've got some. What are they called? Giggles. They are organic, gluten-free Skittles, and they're
Skittles
really
don't have gluten.
they're really nice.
At what point would gluten be
What about that
introduced
stuff
in the
with the
process of
inside the
making
Skittle?
Skittles?
A
What is
lot of
that stuff?
times these candies
there's
and
no
other
gluten in
foods. No,
Skittles.
there's other foods. Many of products like Nan and stuff should be gluten-free, but they're produced in warehouses with like 5 million other foods. And so they do have some gluten in them just because the food that's produced in those environments has a little bit of everything in it.
It's
Interesting.
effectively gluten-free.
What is the inside the Skittle that makes it chewy?
I don't know, but it's chewy. I didn't dissect it. I just ate it.
Some kind of
And
jelly?
we get the little peanut butter cups that have dark chocolate with peanut butter inside them. And those are delicious as well.
Yeah.
is
I kind of
upsetting.
thought it would be fun since the World Series is starting to do just a short baseball trivia.
Okay. I don't know anything about baseball anymore, so this should be fun.
What do the Braves, Astros, Dodgers, Rays, Nationals, Red Sox, Cubs, Indians, Mets, Royals, Cardinals, Tigers, Rangers, and Giants all have in common?
I think I know the answer to this. I'm not going to answer it, but yeah,
I have no idea. I stopped listening.
they all have been to the World Series since the Yankees.
They have all been to the World Series
Oh,
since the
that's
New York
fun.
Yankees.
Yeah, that's great.
Fun.
Okay.
Many of them multiple times.
Interesting.
2-0 Braves, and the Knicks are up by 20.
Huh.
So
You know, the
Everyone's happy.
Marlins beat the Yankees in
They
the
did.
World Series in Yankee Stadium.
it's true. Despite their horrible managerial decisions. Chubb for Mike Williams and Tony Pollard.
I'll take the Chubb side.
I would rather have Chubb.
Ooh, Dynasty. Trade Dalvin Cook and Noah Fant for Jonathan Taylor and Kyle Pitts.
I think Taylor and Cook is pretty close in Dynasty.
Taylor is my number 1 dynasty running back for the first time in 2 years. Christian McCaffrey is not number 1.
That's interesting. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He's really good. Grade the trade. I give up Darrell Henderson, who is my RB3.
Actually, Pitts is my number 1 tight end as well. That was a fantastic trade.
Yeah. Who made that? Jeez. Henderson and Robert Woods for McCaffrey and Mike Gesicki.
Yeah. You better be 5-2 or better.
Yeah. I mean, Henderson's his RB3, so I'm going to assume he is. Yeah.
I got offered Calvin Ridley, Michael Pittman, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire for Najee Harris. He already has Kamara, Swift, and Mitchell. So would you give up Najee Harris for Ridley, Pittman, and Edwards-Helaire? He could definitely use a wide receiver upgrade.
Yeah, I think I would.
Do it.
Okay. Would you trade CJ Uzama
Yeah.
for Kadarius Toney?
I would.
If you can get anything for CJ Uzama.
Yeah.
You should.
I saw it. Mike Clay tweeted today that CJ Uzomah has 0.7 expected touchdowns this season.
What does that mean?
They do. I mean, you can kind of calculate an expected touchdown rate by the types of targets you're getting and how many targets you get,
and where it is on the field,
right?
And
He has 21 targets, which for an average player would be like 1.2, but most of his targets have not been close to the goal line, so it's a little bit lower than that.
Here's a fun one though. I assume we all believe in Hunter Henry, right? Or to some extent, we think Hunter Henry's a starting
As long as Johnny was
fantasy
out
tight
this week.
end.
As long as Johnny was out this week.
And we don't view CJ Uzomah that way, right?
No, I don't.
No.
But
I
go ahead.
believe Uzomah has more non-touchdown PPR points over his last 4 games than Hunter Henry does.
He's made some big plays. Well, I mean, last week he did.
Right.
But Henry,
Actually, yeah, he's averaging more than a point per game more than Hunter Henry over the last 4 games.
He's also averaging
Even
like
if you take
27 yards per target.
look, I know Chris,
13.5.
you're on a little bit of a crusade against Hunter Henry. I understand that. He's not.
I don't understand what that's supposed to mean. I just like
You obviously
we're
you just
supposed
keep
to be
crapping on Hunter Henry.
we are supposed to be smart enough to know that he scored 4 touchdowns in 4 games. Doesn't actually mean all that much.
Who doesn't know that though? I mean, like we all know what he's been, but Uzomah has 1 game with more than 3 targets.
Oh, I don't think
Henry's
Uzomah
Only
is
reason
any
that
better than
Henry is ranked in the top 12 for me right now is because Jonnu Smith left last week early, and I'm not expecting him to play. If Jonnu Smith played, Hunter Henry would be around 15th for me this week.
Yeah, I think they're much more similar than they are likely to be viewed for fantasy moving forward. That's my only point.
Oh, I guess I would disagree with that. I think Uzomah is going to be just completely dropped. Although pretty soon, I am a little shocked by this number. How many targets inside the 10-yard line does Hunter Henry have?
I'm gonna guess like 3, 2,
6.
Keep going. One. Shocking.
Yeah, like he's a touchdown or bust tight end on a team we don't think is all that good on offense. He's got like 60% of their touchdowns through the last 4 games.
Jonnu Smith has 5, by the way.
Is there a chance that we're just not appreciating Mac Jones?
I think he's been pretty solid, I guess, for a rookie, but he's so conservative.
Define we.
He's not
The 3 of us.
Maybe us 3, but I would say generally speaking in football media, Mac Jones, what he's doing so far has not gone underappreciated.
I think it's gone a little overappreciated.
I think that is true.
At the same time,
I think it's really impressive. Like you say, he's been
weapons.
conservative. At the same time, for him to execute even a conservative game plan the way that he has, I think his passer rating's like the 8th best of the last 10 years for a rookie quarterback, and
he's doing really well.
Considerably better than every other rookie this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, he is playing better than most of the rookies, all of the rookies this season. If he was asked to play like Trevor Lawrence has been asked to play, I don't think that would be true.
I don't know how good Tom Brady would be on the Patriots. How about that?
I mean, we saw it, and he probably didn't. He wasn't a top 10 quarterback in terms of the way his production.
No, he wasn't
the last time he played for this team.
So that's a point in Mac Jones's favor for sure. It's not.
Although,
a good situation. All right, come on. Let me. Let me get back here because we just have not answered enough questions. So let's catch up a little bit. All right. Grade the trade: Stafford, Metcalf, Eckler for Rodgers, Adams, and James Robinson.
I think I'd rather have the Stafford side.
I mean, look, you can't. You're 3-4. You can't use
Now
Adams.
you're throwing this week away.
Then again, then again, what are you getting from DK this week?
Well, Stafford and Eckler are going to score more than the other 3 combined, for sure.
Okay.
Well, maybe not for sure, but I think.
Yeah. All right. I think you got to stick with the Stafford side. I'm going to try to move Gaskin and Woods for an upgrade at running back.
Ooh, I like this idea.
Who should I target?
Let's pull up a list of the running backs out there.
Oh, man. I just thought of one name that would definitely probably not make Adam happy. But if you don't need him this week, I would say Josh Jacobs.
I was thinking Josh Jacobs. I was thinking Kareem Hunt.
I don't know if Kareem Hunt's going to play for a month.
It's too far away, I think.
Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
I know there's.
They were working out running backs today. That just seems like a ticking time bomb to me. I don't know.
Sure,
I can't
agree.
take Gibson. I was thinking Cordero Patterson. Would you do
can't
that?
get Mixon, right?
Yeah, that's the thing is like
there.
right now, running back is so all or nothing in terms of like long-term value, especially. I think there's like maybe 18 running backs who are starting right now who have long-term value. And there's a bunch of guys that just don't.
I actually think the Malcolm Brown injury is pretty significant, and Gaskin could be worth
They signed a running back today.
Who
They added Duke Johnson to
Johnson.
the practice
Oh,
squad.
well, he's not going to. Duke Johnson's not going to take goal line carries away from.
But whoever the Washington football team tried out is taking the ball away from Gibson.
No, to me, it just means that his health is a little shaky. You know,
Okay.
that's all. That's all I meant by that.
Yeah, I would see if you could get Mixon. I would see if you could get
Fournette.
Chubb. I would see if you could get Fournette. Yeah.
Okay. I have Cook, Eckler, Najee, and Swift, and I'm 2-5. Oh, what is this? I guess this is a follow-up.
Oh, one more. Elijah Mitchell. I would take him.
I think I'd rather have Woods and Gaskin over Mitchell.
I'm not going to read the first part of this. I don't think it's relevant. I don't think it needs to be like we don't.
He
even
just wants everybody to see it.
Alex Collins or Javonte Williams this week, non-PPR.
Yeah.
Collins against Jacksonville and Javonte against Washington.
Yeah, Collins, I guess.
Although I did hear that it might be Javonte Williams' week.
Last week was.
Many people are saying.
Gronk and Henderson for Pittman and Ayuk.
What?
I
Why
don't know
would
if I
you-
would do Henderson for Pittman and Ayuk.
I would definitely not. I'm not sure I do
Yeah.
Gronk for Pittman and Ayuk.
They got out of the inning. All right. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and Kyle Tucker grounds out to second base. Guided T says, Adam, you keep telling me that Darrell Henderson is made of glass and Sony will have his time. What gives? He's not getting hurt.
Yeah, Adam. I mean, he's played like 4 games in a row without getting hurt. What's your problem?
He's been hurt twice already this season. He got hurt before the season started, and he got hurt a few weeks in. He missed the
That's why
game.
I said 4
Oh,
games.
no,
he made it 2
he's-
games, got hurt.
Right.
He's
Yeah,
been
no,
hurt on like 4 different occasions.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. He
2
left the
weeks
game
ago,
very
he had
briefly. He
the
left
hand
game.
thing.
Yeah.
But he's also awesome.
You know, look, you do with it what you will. Everybody is going to feel the one way about injuries. I mean, Dalvin Cook terrifies me. I have so much Dalvin Cook. I don't know, maybe three leagues, I think. Not that much, but it's enough. And every time he gets a carry, he scares me. But
Who are the running backs that don't scare you? Like for injuries.
let me give the running backs that particularly do scare me in terms of injury. Dalvin Cook, Darrell Henderson, at this point, Antonio Gibson. I'd have to say Saquon Barkley.
Anyone who's currently hurt, like McCaffrey, you have to be scared.
I guess, but he's just so good that but so is Cook. Yeah, I guess McCaffrey's got to be on that
like
list.
you have to throw DeAndre Swift in there. He's been playing with a groin injury since training camp.
I think he just doesn't like to do full practices, it seems like. He's never done a full practice. And Anthony Lynn comes out and says, I'm not going to play guys as much if they don't do full practices. He didn't do a full practice all week. And that's the best game of the year.
Cook and Henderson are the two I think that scare me the most. All right. Is it worth giving up J.D. McKissick for Chuba Hubbard if I'm the McCaffrey owner?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In a mini guillotine league, guillotine? I made the finals. Oh, wow. Already. I can pick up 2 free agents before the other team. Who should I choose? Dalvin Cook, Jonathan Taylor, Jefferson, Hopkins, or Chase? Wow.
I think it would be Cook and Jefferson, but it could also be Cook and Chase.
I would go Cook and Taylor.
Man, this is the finals, huh? So it's not Hopkins. That's the easy one. It's definitely Cook. Taylor against Tennessee. That's beautiful. Jefferson against Dallas. That's probably really good too. And then Chase has the Jets.
Those are all.
I am going running backs here, but congratulations.
I'm really interested to see the Bengals' offensive game plan against the Jets and whether this turns out to be a good matchup for their wide receivers.
I think the Jets give up the fourth fewest fantasy points to wide receivers.
I wonder if they're going to throw 30 because there's a lot, like the most regression I can recall coming for Jamar Chase.
And by the way, it's not because the Jets are so great against wide receivers. I think we just, it's the game script stuff.
Right.
All right, wide receiver.
It's always tough with that because this team may not throw in the second half. Well, if they get in a position where they're not going to throw in the second half, there's a decent chance that Joe Burrow's already got 2 touchdowns. That's always the tough thing is if they go up 21-7 in the first half, is it 2 Joe Mixon touchdowns or is it 2 Joe Burrow touchdowns? That's kind of where if it's only 1 Joe Burrow touchdown in the first half, then things are probably going to be pretty bad for their receiving core.
So who would you go with this week? Jefferson against the Cowboys or Chase against the Jets?
Chase or Jefferson.
I have Jefferson 4th and Chase 5th.
Oh, all right. What kind of trade should? Oh, I don't. These questions. They're okay. All right, whatever. We'll do it. These are tough. All right, so let's see. We
don't have to read everybody's name. We can.
You need an RB2. You got a pretty damn good team there, but you could use another running back. So what would you do here?
I think I would try to trade Antonio Brown. I think of these wide receivers, he's closest to peak value, assuming this ankle injury doesn't look like it's something that's going to linger for multiple weeks. I think he's probably closer to the height of his perceived value than any of them.
I would try to trade Michael Thomas and whatever non-Kamara running back you can, including multiple of them, for a true number 2 running back. And when I say true number 2, I mean like a top 15 to 18 guy rest of season.
Would you put Cordell Patterson in that?
I'd like to go if I could trade Michael Thomas and Gaskin for Mixon, I'd be thrilled.
What's up, guys? Trade Woods, Hawkinson, and Jamal Williams for Kelsey.
Yep.
Sure.
Jamal Agnew has the most yards and targets over the last 2 games for the Jags. Is a bye-week bump possible as the best separator for Trevor?
That best separator thing is a direct quote from Urban Meyer. In fact, I think he said he's the only guy we have who's getting separation.
Really? I didn't see it.
I kind of think that, especially because it's Urban Meyer, there's a chance this thing just sticks for a little while.
I just
Agnew thing?
Yeah. I've got him on a couple rosters already.
I've got him on a couple too.
Okay.
Chris hates
but
it.
where are you going to start him?
Well, but you say that, but we have multiple leagues where you start 2 running backs, 3 receivers, and 2 flexes. A guy like Jamal Agnew is very, very relevant in those kind of leagues.
I don't think I'd start him in that league though. Again, it all depends on team context, but where do you have Agnew ranked?
Probably 40 or something.
Yeah.
Do you have him ranked ahead of the other guys, the other Jaguars?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if it's another week like the past 2 they've played, I will next week.
Ridley and Dillon for Allen Robinson and Stephon Diggs. This is almost a Ridley for Diggs.
Yeah, it's Dillon's better than A-Rob, so I think I think Ridley will be better than Diggs, but I think you'd rather have the Ridley side.
You think who will be better than?
I think Diggs be better than Ridley.
I think Ridley will. It's close.
Is it?
I haven't really changed my opinion on Ridley very much at all.
Well, I have changed my opinion of his role.
Yeah, he's a short yardage guy.
To a certain extent, but
Juju Smith-Ridley.
Except he'd averaged that seems like the obvious comp, and I know you said it jokingly, but he averaged 21 PPR points per game in 8 games without Julio Jones before this season.
I think it was only 2 games for Juju, but he had 2 or 3 games when AB had been hurt where he'd been awesome.
I mean, got a new coaching staff here, and
his ADOT is still 10. We're not talking about.
I think they're kind of wanting him to do some of the AJ Brown after the catch stuff, but Calvin Ridley's not AJ Brown.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of optimistic that he'll start going downfield more. Remember, after week 3, it was, gosh, the Falcons never throw the ball downfield. And then they started to do it a little bit. So
just only to Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I mean, that has to change. All right, let's. We got 10 minutes left. Pick 2: James Conner, Chase Edmonds, Alex Collins, Kenneth Gainwell. It's non-PPR.
Conner and Collins.
I I think it would be Gainwell and Edmonds for me. Oh, non-PPR. Okay, no. Yeah, okay. What he said.
Jared Cook or Uzama rest of season.
Cook.
Mitchell, Moss, Carter, Claypool, LaVisca, Chenault, half PPR, a running back and a flex. Mitchell, Moss, Carter, Claypool, LaVisca.
Mitchell and Carter for me.
I think it would be Mitchell and Claypool for me.
Should I trade Deebo Samuel, Darnell Mooney, and Chase Edmonds for Jalen Waddle and Saquon Barkley?
Resident Giants expert. Has anyone said anything about Saquon Barkley getting closer to playing football?
No, I haven't read anything. All I read was that they didn't put him on IR, and this would be game 3. So,
oops.
Wasn't there a quote earlier in the week that he may practice this week?
They are all on different tracks. I saw that.
Yeah.
I don't really like this trade.
No.
yeah,
no, I don't think I.
Yeah.
Oh, Barkley is expected to return to practice Wednesday,
Okay, then I like it a little bit more.
as is Galladay.
Oh,
Galladay's been expected to return for multiple
Nah,
weeks
but
now.
the original timeline was like multiple weeks, right?
1 to 2, I think. Judy or Claypool?
Claypool.
Yeah, I think so.
Totally a wait and see game for me with Judy this week. I want to see where he slots in.
Tyreek Hill and Damian Harris for Kamara and Ridley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
Drop Darnell Mooney for Randall Cobb.
Is
That's
Khalif,
interesting.
is Khalif Raymond not available?
Well, but obviously you're trying to get someone in the Packers game with no Lazard and no
Yeah,
Adams.
I'm just saying I do not want to do that. I would rather have Marquez Callaway. I'd rather have KJ Osborne. I'd rather have Khalif Raymond. All those guys are probably available.
Would you rather have Marquez Valdez-Scantling or Randall Cobb?
MVS.
What should I do?
I don't think either of them be good. The difference is MVS could make your day on one play.
Yeah.
Probably it'll take 7.
What should I do with Allen Robinson? Trade him or drop him? Or hope for him getting traded?
I'm trying to hold, but unlike Lockett, I would probably drop Robinson if I had to for someone to start someone else over him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Should I trade Derrick Henry, Keenan Allen, and Jerry Jeudy for McCaffrey, Jamar Chase, and Najee Harris? Yes. I think you should.
Probably.
Najee Harris is like such a beast there.
Yeah, I think you're getting 2 top 6 wide running backs rest of season.
Yeah, that's true. I do kind of think that Keenan might be better than Chase in PPR this season.
What is up with Kirk Herbstreit or Khalil Herbert?
He's a running back for the Chicago Bears who's had 2 good games in a row.
He's had 2 damn good games in a row, and it's been really impressive. And he completely dominated running back touches.
I do wonder how we know Damian Williams was symptomatic. So I do wonder how much of that was just his conditioning not being there.
I'm not sure it matters now though. As well as he played.
I'm excited to start Khalil Herbert this week.
I think he's a top 12 running back until Montgomery gets back.
I have him 23rd.
Okay.
This week.
Because of Damian Williams?
Just don't know if there's a huge passing game role. Like I do have him projected for a bunch of carries, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to rush for 100 yards every week.
He had 5 catches last week though too.
Right, but I think if Damian Williams has a bigger role, it's probably going to come there.
Yeah, and they got blown out last week by the Bucks. He had 2 catches the week before without Damian Williams against Green Bay. San Francisco this week. Okay, should I trade McKissick and Ertz for T. Higgins?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Would you guys rather see the Astros just get obliterated in this series, or maybe like lose in 7 on heartbreak? like a triple play with the bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth in the game 7?
I'm not going to answer because nobody's going to like my answer. I'd rather see the Astros win
Same.
than the Braves.
Oh, because you're a Marlins fan. But
No, not really.
why?
But we don't need to get into it.
I hate the Astros. I'm so psyched.
Yeah, I have no negative feelings towards the Astros at all.
Oh, gosh.
I would like for every athlete that I watch to try as hard to win as they have.
Okay. Love it. Love the integrity on this show. Okay, let's see. Higgins.
I mean, like, should they be banned for like? Should they never be allowed to win a World Series again?
Oh, they're playing. They're allowed. I'm just
right. So, like, what's the integrity dig supposed to be? Like, they didn't just beat the other team that got.
I'm not saying the
cheating.
Astros don't have integrity.
And like, you don't root for a team that has been heavily implicated in cheating as well.
I am not saying the Astros don't have integrity. I am saying that Heath doesn't have integrity. That's what I was getting at.
Fair.
Higgins and
But
Aaron.
like Carlos Beltran left the Yankees, went to the Astros, and was like, guys, you aren't cheating enough.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Higgins, Aaron Jones, and Diggs for DeAndre Hopkins, Chubbs from Happy Gilmore, and Marvin Jones.
Ooh, here's the thing. The S is right next to the A. Is that Chuba? I think it's more likely Chuba than Chubb.
Well,
I don't think so because you got
no, because that would be really lopsided.
Yeah.
Chuba.
Aaron
Jones and Diggs for Hopkins and Chuba as the main pieces.
Yeah, it's got to be Chubb.
Yeah, it's got to be Chubb.
Because the S is
nowhere
only
close
like
to the B.
four.
Look,
Yeah,
let's-
only like 4 letters in a row.
Look, if it's Chuba, you definitely don't do it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
If it's
I wouldn't
Chubb,
do it if it was Chubb either.
I don't think I would do it if it was Chubb either.
The Houston Asterisks, yeah. Astros suck.
Right, but then if they win, this year, it's like
American League Cheater Series.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I like that.
Man,
All right, Gaskin or Mike Davis rest of season?
Gaskin.
Yep.
Punt Mike Davis to the moon.
Judy, Tony, or Sanders? If that's rest of season, I mean, it's
Judy.
Yes,
I hope.
Judy.
I need a wide receiver upgrade to pair with A.J. Brown. I'm willing to move Amari Cooper and Kareem Hunt. Who should I reasonably target?
Diggs.
Yeah, Diggs if you can get him. AJ Brown if you could get him. Keenan Allen if you could get him.
I'm not sure.
DJ
about
Moore?
Ridley.
Calvin
DJ
Ridley.
Moore for sure.
Deontay if you could get him.
As commissioner and Mike Davis manager, I rage deleted him from the league. Was that wrong?
You know, like he did
That's
still play
great.
38 snaps. I don't know if I'm ready to bury him entirely.
You're like dropping him off your team is one thing. Deleting his entire player profile from the league seems like it might create a lot of work for someone in the future.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a joke, but that is very funny. Trade Tyler Lockett for Jalen Waddle.
What's
I
your
gotta have
record?
Waddle.
What's your record? I think I'd rather have Lockett with Russ in the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah. Trade away DJ Moore and Myles Gaskin for Najee Harris. PPR.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yep.
And non-PPR, Tyreek, Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, and Debo. Who are you sitting here?
AJ Brown.
Debo. Really?
AJ Brown's my number 7 wide receiver. The other guys are all ranked higher.
It is non-PPR. It is non-PPR. Does that matter?
Brown is better in non-PPR, but I don't know the other guys are worse in non-PPR.
Yeah, I've got it. Debo, Tyreek, and Justin Jefferson are 2 through 4 in both formats. So
Okay, wait. What did I do here? Last one. Don't leave me hanging. I didn't see this, Danny boy. I'm sorry. Thank you for hitting like. Sutton and Kenyon Drake from Michael Thomas.
is this the last question? We've answered them all now?
Yeah, this is it.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make because like I didn't want to leave anybody else hanging.
I
I'll be here all night.
didn't want to lose a like.
Yes, I would do that.
Okay.
Man, I don't know about Michael Thomas anymore. Like now that he's still like not coming back this week, probably based on reports last week. It's just like, is he really going to come back anytime soon? Is he really going to be effective anytime soon? Are they really going to throw the ball? I don't know.
Yeah, they'll throw it.
I've got him on an awful lot of teams. I wish I was more optimistic about it.
Okay. That is it for tonight's show. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Good stuff. Thank you to Wes for producing, Heath and Chris. I am Adam. We will talk to you Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m. with another start-sit edition of Fantasy Football Today right here on YouTube. Good night. Enjoy the World Series.